Hi, my name is Bukefano Morali, and I'm a PhD student with Queen Mary University of London and University of Genoa. And this is a presentation on virtual reality-based telerobotics framework with depth cameras. The Advanced Robotics Center at Queen Mary University is involved with nuclear site decommissioning project with the National Center for Nuclear Robotics. In our research, we study novel VR-based human-robot interaction interfaces for efficient telemanipulation in extreme environments. I would like to start with remote site exploration and visualization in VR teleoperation. Often VR teleoperation systems use a single static external RGBD camera to reconstruct the remote environment in 3D. Here we have an example of such system that runs with a single Connect 2 camera that is located 2 meters above the area of interest. Depending on the scene geometry, reflectivity, and lighting conditions, an RGBD camera can suffer from occlusions and point cloud distortions that complicates exploring and interacting with the remote scene. One common solution is to use an extra RGBD camera or cameras to construct the point cloud from multiple viewpoints. This comes at an increased communication bandwidth cost, especially for environments that are not known a priori. Another solution is to use RGB video streams, since they do not suffer from distortions. But then the operator has to switch between 2D and 3D mindset, which leads to increase in cognitive load. We suggest that in-hand RGBD can be used instead. Our VR teleoperation framework adds three novel features. We experimentally demonstrate that the combination of in-hand RGBD and Octomap provides a better visualization of remote environment than existing solutions. We introduce gesture-based navigation that allows the operator to manipulate the 3D visualization of the remote environment in VR. Finally, we propose three different methods for grasping that are suitable for setups with in-hand RGBD vision. We performed an experiment in which we compared the operator's ability to explore the remote environment with our proposed visualization mode and existing ones. Our experimental setup consists of Panda robot that was teleoperated through virtual reality. The area of interest that we explored was reconstructed by either a Top Connect 2 or in-hand Connect 2 or combination of those. The goal of the experiment was to investigate the effect of RGBD camera placement on the operator's ability to understand the remote environment. We recruited 10 participants and asked them to identify and localize random unique objects that were randomly placed in a grid. Each participant had 10-minute training with a training set of objects and then performed the test in each mode once. Each trial had 9 objects, and each object appeared once per person. Participants had to explore the area of interest and report object's shape, color, and location to the tester. The metrics were number of missed or misidentified objects, NASA task load index, completion time. We also benchmarked communication requirements for each mode. We had 4 experimental conditions illustrated in the image below. Top camera recorded from eConnect 2 that was located 2 meters above the area of interest. In-hand camera that was recorded from the Connect attached to the robot's indefector, both cameras simultaneously, and in-hand camera with Octomap. The main takeaway point of the experiment is that in-hand camera with Octomap provided the best trade-off between visualization and communication load. Since the in-hand camera could be moved, participants had a better detailed view of each object. Meanwhile, the Octomap compensated for the lack of overview in in-hand mode, compared to top camera or dual camera modes. Unfortunately, we did not find any statistically significant differences in task completion time and the task load. However, the breakdown of the workload showed that both in-hand and in-hand with Octomap modes scored considerably lower on mental demand and frustration. One drawback of in-hand RGBD is interacting with objects. RGBD cameras require a minimum distance to an object to register it as a point cloud. So the RGBD camera is kind of blind to everything that is too close to it. As we approach towards the teddy bear, it disappears. We suggest a few ways to deal with this problem. Assuming that the object of interest is static, we can segment it, clone it, and then plant a grasp on the segmented clone. The segmentation implemented here segments all points that are contained within a single contiguous Octomap chunk. More scan data can be added by moving the camera and rescanning. Then, as we approach towards the grasp, the light point cloud disappears, but the clone persists, and the grasp can be made. Next, we move from direct teleoperation to supervised teleoperation. In this mode, the robot is not teleoperated in real time. Compared to the previous method, this method is less physically demanding. The operator sets a grasp pose and requests a grasp through Move It Motion Planner. If the trajectory preview is satisfactory, it can be executed. By itself, this mode is not very interesting, but it gets more interesting when combined with segmentation. In this final mode, the operator simply points on the object of interest and requests a grasp. The grasp is generated on the segmented point cloud with principal component analysis and then fed to Move It. Biggest limitations of our framework are grasp generation in cluttered environments and post-grasp object manipulation. I also find it funny that we only thought of longer gripper fingers after implementing this method. This concludes our presentation. Our current work revolves around integration of tactile exploration into our VR teleoperation framework. Thank you for watching.